Hey there tubers, today I wanted to have a bit of a look at two compressors for my four-wheel drive, and I was looking at one from Super Cheap Auto, which was the Ryder, and one from BCF, which is the XTM. Now both of these appear to be very similar, and I just wanted to go through a bit of a comparison before I made up my mind to purchase one. So let's get started. Okay, I've chased up all the specs for both the Ryder Ultimate from Super Cheap Auto and the XTM from BCF. Now, as you can see, they're both very similar looking machines, and at a quick glance you could easily mistake one for the other, apart from the slight differences in the air ventilation. Much else is the same. Now, as you go through the similarities here, they're both 160 litres of air per minute. They both have a maximum pressure of 150 psi. They both have the same air filter housing body. They have the same amount of fins in that body. The only difference really there is the filter cap, which the XTM cap has 4 fingers, and coincidentally this appears that it would fit straight on to the Ryder. So that, to me, they're the same there. The filter housing is a different colour, but that's about it. They're both 12 volt, and they're both the clips appear basically the same. They both have bags. It's very hard to tell these apart at a quick glance, and honestly I think you're getting the same thing. Okay, this is unboxing the XTM tire inflator or 12 volt compressor from BCF. Now the current price for these is about $135, I think it is, and with your club membership it drops down to $93 or so. So they inflate up to 150 psi at a rate of 160 litres per minute. It seemed like a fairly good deal. It's quite heavy, to be honest, as a compressor goes, especially one at that price. Most of the other ones were comparable in size and speed. Pump rate were up over $200. So it comes in a bag. I'll pop that out. Actually, I'll move that out of the way. Fingers crossed the bag doesn't break, because it's quite heavy. What is the actual rating on this, weight wise? Does it give one? I reckon it's probably close to about 5-6 kilos, maybe 7 kilos. Inline pressure gauge, press release, good battery clamps, and the quick release rubber air hose. Looks all fairly solid. Alright, nothing else in the box. Let's throw that over there. Let's have a look at this. Ooh, that looks alright. Okay, it's quite a solid hose. The actual line looks better and thicker than some of those yellow twist type lines. The gauge looks quite solid as well. So let's have a look at this. That kind of looks like a spray can lid. Alright, so there's your gauge. Obviously got the plastic coating on at present. Bit hard to see under that plastic though. It looks fine. There's your connector. And your end that goes onto the compressor itself. I might oil that a little, it sounds a bit dry actually. It still feels fairly good, but it sounds a little dry. Alright, the main part, the compressor itself. Let's move the bag out of the way, get it out. Let's try not to drop it on the floor, sure that would do wonders. So the bag itself looks fairly good. It's a basic bag, but at least it'll keep the dust off. I want to mount this actually in the car so that I can just pull the hose out, flick a switch and she's right to go. So I'm not moving her at all. That's the idea. So with a bit of luck that'll work well. I'm going to actually rub down some light oil over the steel parts and see how that goes. Just don't want it to rust up. If it's steel seems to rust up quite good up here in NQ. And this is your filter in here. If I can get it off without breaking it. And maybe not, I'll need a screwdriver probably on that. Alright, pops off, yep. And there's your air filter. It's a very common air filter. I'm not sure about this though, this is a bit dodgy. We'll see how this goes on in a minute. Yep, that's good. It clips back in actually quite nicely. Caution hot. This is obviously idiot warning. Let's have a look. Okay, it also comes with an attachment here that for your tyres obviously, and it looks like for some small things like kids' balls and accessories I suppose. Maybe an air mattress. So that's good. I saw another chap actually using this as a deflator because there's no blockage here, and he was able to get his unit, his gauge on the end of this and deflate his tyres. So when he was deflating down for beach runs or off-road use, he used this, and he was actually saying it was quite good. So I might try that next time I'm out. Okay, all plugged in. Let's have a look. That's quite a lot of pressure coming out there. Alright, let's plug the hose in. There's actually a pressure relief valve here. That's awesome. So basically you could deflate the tyre to the right pressure at that point with that hooked up. That is so awesome. Honestly, this here is meant to go straight on your tyre, but I'm not that fussed on that. Well, let's have a look at this other link. You would have to screw that onto your tyre. Onto your tubed end. I reckon this will probably screw in here. Okay, so initially I thought this piece wouldn't spin on its own. I thought the whole cord would spin, and I didn't like that, but this doesn't. This front section here twists up, so you can put that on your tyre quite easily. However, why would you, when you can plug that in and it becomes just part of the unit? So I wouldn't even take that off unless I was actually deflating the tyres. Jumps around a bit on this bench, can't be helped, but I just have to be careful it doesn't drop off. So there was some restriction there with the excess hose and running through. I don't know if this is part of that. I'll have to figure that out and probably read the manual. But other than that, it actually feels really good. I'm really, at this point in time, I haven't tested on the car yet, but at this point in time it feels like a robust unit and something that I'd be happy to take off road and out bush or up in the dunes or wherever I'm headed. Straight out of the box, quick test, I would say definitely go buy this for $93 if you're a BCF club member, or $133 or $35 if you're not. Become a member, you're saving yourself a few dollars. This seems to be quite a good machine. Time will tell. So all back in the bag. Final thought, was it value for money? Absolutely. But the real test is going to be out on the road, and I hope to get that back to you once I'm doing some changes in tyre pressure, and we can discuss it more then. Well guys, that concludes my comparison of the XTM and the Ryder compressors. I hope you find this helpful, and maybe you'll save a few dollars in the meantime if you go with the XTM. I really think it's a worthwhile machine, but that's your decision of course. I'm buying another battery for the car, so I saved a bit. Thanks for watching, have a great one.